Well, hey everybody, how you doing? Hope you're out there doing well. I am now just starting to kind of get myself orientated here. We're going to do some PTU testing today for sure. So, they talked about this rebalance, right? They talked about this rebalance in 3.22 for Prospector stuff. And I thought we would just take a look and see whether or not we see that is a thing. So, if anybody's out there, if you could let me know if you could hear okay, if the audio sounds okay. Still kind of getting used to this new hardware. Hey, Brendan, how's it going? Brandon, how you doing? Nice to see you. How you been, sir? So yeah, that's us. Real simple kit today. Obviously this is the EPTU. So we're just, we're really just doing some real basic stuff. I just have the Prospector. The Prospector is, yikes, here. Do I not have it stored? Hold on, I might not.
Welcome.
Audio is great. Thank you, Nimrock. I appreciate that. Nimrock, how you been? Nice to see you. Yeah, cool. Let me just go ahead and store this fella. I just kind of imported my stick, so we're going to have some fun. I've got the ick. Oh, no, Brandon. I'm sorry to hear that. That's going around for sure. That I have heard I have a good friend who hasn't been feeling well. He's been under the weather as well. I completely understand where you're coming from. So anyways, yeah, I hope that you get the feeling better for sure. I totally understand. That is definitely a thing that's been happening. So yeah, the Prospector, here we go. I don't have anything special on this guy. I do have the Aphrodite paint, and I do have a Hofstad and a Stampede. And what they've talked about is shifting the rocks a little bit so that it's a little bit more Prospector friendly. And I hope that that's the case. We're going to go out and take a look and see what we see, and pay particular attention to what it is that we happen to come across. So let's go ahead and do that. I ended up paying $20 cash for it. I ended up trading. Brandon says I ended up trading some ships in for the Arastra. Oh, nicely done. Which gave me the mole into Prospector as a loaner. Yeah, that's one of the nice things about it. Brandon, if you go with the Orion or if you go with the Arastra, you do get the mole and you do get the Prospector as a loaner, and that is a really cool thing. And so I am excited. I mean, obviously you guys know the Prospector's my jam. Hey, Toe Cutter, what's happening? There is a patch coming tonight. Oh, yikes! We'll have to see it. We'll have to see how. Do you know? Is there a patch coming in 3.22? Is that what you're saying, Toe, or where are we at? All right, we're Hanger 2. Toe, how you been? By the way, nice to see you, sir. All right, out we go. We're gonna go ahead and, like I said, I think I have my sticks map now. I imported the XML file. We'll see how that goes. Maybe if they're not quite mapped, there might be some booms. Oh, a PTU patch. Interesting. Now, I am on the EPTU, which is 3.22. There are two different PTUs, so we'll have to see which one they're updating there. But if it's 3.22, then we may have an interruption in our stream, and it's just important to me that the Prospector gets back on track, and I know that they've mentioned that they have done some balancing for it, so I am hoping that that's the case. And we're going to go out and look. Now, I did a little bit of mining last night, pretty late in the day. Ooh, that's a good sign. That stick worked. No, they're not new sticks to me, Nimrod. I have VKB Gladiators, but I needed to import the profile so I didn't have to remap everything. That's a good sign, too. Evening shorts, and everyone says, Jaffo, I melted my Prospector and upgraded my mole with LTI to the Arastra. Got the Prospector and mole back as a loaner as well. Good job, Jaffo. That's awesome. I'm super excited about the Arastra, you guys. I think it's, it's really going to be kind of like that. It's really going to be that next step. You can see they haven't fixed the CRUL1 to Crusader issue, which is always kind of a little wonky to me. So we'll do that little mini jump over to ARC-L3 and see how that treats us. Should be up with the sticks here. Oh, that's not too bad. What about that? Is that gear? Yeah. Oh, I am kind of. It's interesting. It's coupled. Oh, nope. All right. I put coupled back. All right. Well, we'll see how this goes for sure. The sticks feel a little, they feel a little different than live, but that's okay. I think they're certainly making all the right turns and stuff. And you know me, I switch to mouse and keyboard when we go mining anyways. EPTU, I believe. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what time that rolls in, and if it messes us up, we'll just reinstall it real quick, and we'll keep on. We want to fight the good fight here, you know, you guys. As far as I want the Prospector kind of at least back to a somewhat profitable thing, so giving them some feedback is how we want to do it, and yeah, you know, if you don't test anything and say anything, you can't complain later, right? You know, so I can't. Brandon says I can't wait to take some of the org buds out of the arrest. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be just so much fun doing some mining in that thing. Everybody kind of in the same spot, you know, sitting working together. Going to make so much. Yeah, it's going to definitely be a good moneymaker. Toe says, so it's not just me with that marker bug. No, Toe, it's a thing. It's in 3.21. It's in, you know. And it seems to be persistent through 3.22. I cannot. Once in a blue moon, you know, and all it is it's something. It's like a something in the way type thing. It's like kind of like when you can't catch an OM marker because it's on the other side of the planet. It's one of those types of things, I think. You know, that causes it. I'm gonna go ahead and check the stream here. Give me just a sec. I'm looking at something. All right, that's helpful. Yep, that's good. I used to use a 49-inch monitor, and I'd have OBS set on one side and the chat set on the other. I'm now using just a secondary laptop because I'm playing 4K. And, you know, I do stream 1080, but I am playing 4K. And, you know, like I said, I'm still kind of getting used to all the new setup and everything. So if there's, you know, if you see some, you know, I always appreciate the feedback. If there's some way you think I can improve the stream quality, I'm happy to do it. So anyways, yeah, I'm very excited to do some mining today. I really am. In 3.22, we'll go ahead and stop this guy. We'll clear this route. And we will head on over to selling. That's where I've done most of my mining the last 2 or 3 weeks. Don't get me wrong, I've been on Yella and Daymar, and I've been on all the Microtech moons, and I've been in the air in Halo, but I've done most of my mining and selling. So I think I'll recognize... Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh, it might help if I spool my quantum drive. I think I would recognize a slightly different trend. Now, the question becomes... how are we going to oh my gosh, already 5 likes, you guys. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. The question does become, though, how do you tell? I mean, you know, if they just say that they're shifting the rocks a little bit closer to, you know, to more prospector friendly, what exactly, I mean, you're still going to find large rocks. It's going to be difficult to kind of tell, you know, how you know, whether or not there is a change or not. But, you know, I will say yesterday, I seen a rock that it was pretty, I hadn't seen one like it before. And it was like a 10,000 mass rock that was like a 47% Quantanium. So that kind of led me to believe that, we might be heading in the right direction. So here, I'll head down to this Ashburn here, over here, and we'll just kind of work our way from here. You guys know I like to mine in the daytime. I'm a big daytime miner, and that's just because when you mine at night, you can be seen from an OM marker, basically. Your lights are so bright, you know, you become a big target. Well, it's very chilly in northern Michigan, by the way, today. Nimrod says, larger rocks will be possible to break. What was the previous max mass limit for well, in my setup right now, Nimrod, I always tend to lean towards the secondary brakes. I want to do clean. So I always go with a little bit less power myself, a little less power, and then something that's going to be a little more friendly on the secondary brakes. So in my case, hey, Gravedigger, how you doing? In my case, I will, I'm using a Hofstede and using a Stampede. So the Hofstede and Stampede is kind of what I'm going for. And really, it's gonna, my limit is gonna be somewhere between 10 to 12,000 for gold, Bexolite, and Terranite. It's going to be more, 10,000-ish if it's a high percentage of Quantanium. Hey, not real late night, Griff. Scar, how you doing, man? I am just testing 322. They talked about how they're rebalancing kind of 322's Prospector, nodes or whatever, and I thought we would come take a look. So that's what we're up to. Grave Digger says, "How's the verse been? I've been away for the..." Oh, Grave, I was away too. The last month, I've had a tremendous amount of fun. They've got some really crazy stuff in right now with salvage. Well, it's really, it was around salvage. It's not so much around it anymore. It's around, if you do like ERTs, you can actually, can be crazy cargo on those ships, and you can make a tremendous amount of money. And so, but I've just been doing, I've gotten back into mining, Gray. That's what I've been up to. I really enjoy using the Klein, says Brandon. I like the Klein too, don't get me wrong. I really did like that. I wanted to try out the Hoff with the Stampede. I like the Hoff and the Stampede for sure. Did they pull hull munching in this patch? It's going, yes. But it's not so much munching as it is kind of more beams of the beams and dreams there, Grave. There's definitely been a little bit of, they just kind of released it. And there's going to be a... the Thursday Star Citizen show is going to be all about it, but they've definitely gotten some gnarly feedback. I mean, it's kind of like uses a beam type thing, so that's, and so it's not quite the hull munching as we all kind of thought it was going to be. And so, but it's beam citizen, exactly, like Brandon says. It's more like mining beams for ships. It really is. And so they're really taking some heat over it. But, I hope they're going to say that this is just the first iteration. But if not, ooh boy, they got the bull by the tail right now, for sure. Hey, Ramoy, how are you? It looks like a late night stream, very brave in the light of the GTA 6 announcement trailer burning across the internet. Thanks, man, I appreciate that. LOL, so the claw on the Reclaimer still does, it actually does stuff. It actually sticks out and opens up and stuff, but then it beams. It turns stuff into like beam dust. It's very interesting, Gray, for sure. And yeah, they're taking some heat over it. I actually also seen another crazy thing today where I happened to be on Reddit. Where we're all optimism goes to die. But I was on Reddit and I seen this guy had like 2,200 SCU or something of the whatever the Reclaimer stuff is when they break the hulls up, and he had done that in a couple hours by himself, and it was like 25 million worth of that stuff. And so yeah, they've got a little bit of work to do for sure. They've got the Reclaimer basically it's basically the giant vulture. It's a giant solo ship, and so. All right, well, that's 3 rocks right there that the Prospector could break. That's interesting, nothing too crazy. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff in here that's, just so we're on the same page, you guys. I'm looking for Bexelite, Terranite, or gold over 41%. Obviously, Quantanium over 35%. In rocks that are 12,000 and down. That's really what I'm looking for. The buffer storage for the Vulture was genius. I don't disagree with that, Brandon. However, on the Reclaimer, it's pretty crazy. They turned the claw into a beam emitter. Yes, they did, Toe. There's been some pushback on the hull munching. The Reclaimer claw is like a straw. Yeah, there you go. That's Grumpy. Grumpy nailed it. I didn't see him describe it as a straw, Griff. That's pretty awesome. They are already nerfing the buffers. They have to. They can't. You can't let a guy make 25 million worth of whatever that stuff is called. Yeah, oh my God, put space in hands of the quality. Yeah. Hey, Tella. Hey, Ola from work. I hope that you're doing well. Awesome. The Reclaimer was 6 months plus one from that. 6 million plus from one hammerhead. Oh my gosh. 6 million plus from one hammerhead. Aosha says they made a change. They wanted to get it in our hands and not make us wait 2 or 3 years for something. And that's the thing, right? If that's really what they're gonna say is like, hey guys, this is just iteration 1. We wanted to give you something. Then heck, we'll take it. As long as they're not saying that we're kind of stuck with the Dream Beam, then I'm okay with it. Now that's an interesting. There's a Bexlite 40. We're out here looking at the new, they've talked about how they've, every one of these rocks was definitely prospector friendly in this, and that's a 30% Bexlite. So none of them necessarily met the criteria as far as me wanting to mine them yet, but every one of these rocks in this first one were all, now that's a 40% Bex rock. We'll do that one for sure. We'll do this one. So doesn't use nope. Yeah, it's weird. You can actually, the buffer's like an internal storage. And then you can sit up there in the mining laser and just fill the buffer, and then eventually go down and make the boxes whenever you want. Once again, the Vulture, I think, it's a great thing for the Vulture, and I think it's actually a really good thing for the Reclaimer as well. They're just going to have to strike some balance with it, right, you guys? I think that's really what we're saying. Just remember to bring your salt and pepper and cook the wreck of your choice. Yeah, exactly. I'd be fine with the buffer size if they force you to scrape the vehicle clean or near clean before. Oh, that's an interesting thing. Like maybe, tell them that's not a bad idea. Kind of putting some prerequisites in before you kind of beam it. And then Griff says, I know Grumpy isn't popular among us, the community. Oh, Grumpy and I get along like just fine. I understand he's got an alternative viewpoint, and I appreciate it. I think sometimes White Knights, as you know, Griff, sometimes White Knights, they get a little too, with it, and I appreciate that he has a different perspective. So this is a very doable 40%er, and we're just going to go ahead and break this rock. Oh, the Reclaimer can now make up the size 16 SU boxes. That is awesome. They've still got to process thinking of adding. Not sure what you mean there. I'm currently using a Hofstad with a Stampede. The trade-off is the Vulture at present with 1 SU boxes. The Reclaimer has a big buffer and multi-size boxes, and that's correct. See, definitely the Vulture has just the 1 SCU boxes. It can make quite a few of them in buffer, and then you can just go down there and print them off, kind of is how it works. The Reclaimer is just a little crazy right now. It's got a whole lot of memory. It can make tons and tons and tons of SCU, and it's basically a solo ship right now until they patch it. IE stuff, it's gonna change for sure, which means we might be able to refine in the future. Yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna keep an eye here. Just as soon as we sneak into the green, I want to roll this back a bunch. I don't want to lose all of it. It might fall out of there. It fell out a sack. I'm gonna go ahead and push back in here. All right, let me go 38. We'll see that. Telling says the problem with the 16 SUs, there's nowhere to put. 70% of the grid can't hold 16 SUs. Yeah, that's a very good point. You got to pump out a ton of 2 SCUs to fill the grid properly. Oh, interesting. Hit the like button, says says Griffin. I appreciate that. Hey, KSS, how are you been? Nice to see you. It's been a hot minute. So far, KSS, I've only came across one cluster, and it was very friendly for prospector size stuff. Now, I definitely hope that they're not doing something like when you're in a prospector, you're going to see different rocks than if you're in a mole. And I don't think they're doing that. I think they just shifted. I think that they've kind of just rebalanced it where there's a higher percentage of rocks that are 10,000 and down. I am not picking up anything that is south of 50% in Bexlite. Just remember, all the mass mining went through. That's exactly right, you guys. And that's a very good point that Toe's making. It's an iterative process when they're doing this stuff. And so, they've just got a little ways to go. So that's a 55. We will take that. It's not that high over the limit. This was only a 40%, break. So, and that's a 25. Looks like only one piece is going to make the cut here, and it's kind of on the bubble as it is. Yeah, this broke pretty gnarly. There is one of them here that's north of 50%. 50%'s my line. You know, I don't even like being around 50%, but you know, you're out here to mine, you got to mine a little bit. Because that's a 4 to. You're really looking for like a 6 to 1 ratio, and instead of like a 4 to 3 ratio, like we got there. I think they front loaded more small rocks and made big rocks much fewer. That's, I think, exactly what they did as well. We're gonna keep an eye on that today. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this guy back up, or we'll get a ping in. All right, and there's something out there. Let me see if I can see it again. Oh, is that it there? Oh yeah, I just seen some diamond markers. Let's collapse the scan angle a little bit and see what we get. I know I've seen some over this way. Yeah, they're right in this area. Oh, that could be a gem icon. Nope, that's rocks. Cool. Aosha says, as the FPS weapon rebalance, I'm happy with the ATS-CAV and the pistol. They're excessively deadly and shocking. Nice. I haven't messed around with any of the FPS rebalance stuff at all. Daggermore, how have you been? Nice to see you. They put a fix for the reclaimer and the vulture buffer and dropped the reclaimer to 140 and the vulture to 12. That makes more sense, I think. It's never completed until it's complete. Yeah, wow, that's a SIG maybe. It's exactly right. I think they're going to stratify mining according to the ship size and capability. Stratify. That's actually an interesting thought, Ramoin, for sure. And stock bags. Scanning seems to be messed up this patch. Definitely we could talk about scanning a little bit. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's, I really want there to be much better scanning than there. What the heck? Did a whole bunch of rocks just disappear? I've never seen that before. Am I wrong, or did a whole bunch of rocks just disappear from out? I literally have never seen that before. That is so weird. Ramon says, I think they are going to strand... Yeah, what do you mean? That's a good question that Brandon's asking. What do you mean, Ramon? Awesome, you guys. That is so strange. That was the weirdest. All right, so let's talk about this. I am now in V mode or scanning mode, right? And I'm rolling my mouse wheel, and you can see like the red angle over here, like in this area over here, changing, right? So I normally do a 180 ping, and you look for your opportunity markers after that, and then once you got those, you kind of you collapse on it. So we'll wait till we get an opportunity marker, because of course the minute you begin to teach, you don't have one. I watched them poof too. Yeah, they did. Tella, it was so weird. Into the ether. I've never seen rocks just straight disappear like that. I hope that's not a thing. Reduce the amount of construction material generated per ship. Increase the amount of time for disintegration and fracturing. Updated the fracturing and yeah, so it definitely seems like they're going after it, and they had to. I mean, they were really kind of getting raked over the coals. To have the alignment field, if you have the place to fracture, disintegrate in a sweet spot, it requires less time to fracture, disintegrate. Oh, that's interesting. So you want to align it properly, it sounds what Dager's saying. I think he means it's going to be harder or easier to mine depending on the ship and its capabilities. It just means that basically if the rock sizes get a little bit smaller, what it basically means is it's more friendly for the prospector and the mole. That's basically what I'm talking about. And that's what they said they did, is that they have made, they made a change where the rock sizes are more friendly for the prospector. Rocks across server, someone mined them. No, I've never heard of that before, Toe. Ganja Claus, how are you? Nice to see you. How have you been? Welcome to the channel. All right, so we're out here looking. I do see some. Not seeing a whole lot of opportunity markers. Wait, let me look at those guys right there. That is going to be a gem icon. Yeah, it's a gem for sure. All right, so let's kind of keep looking here. It is strange. You know, the opportunity markers have just kind of thinned out after that really weird just disappearing. I wonder if... Did the update just... Maybe the update just came out or something. That's kind of weird. Hold on. Rocks are specific to the server blade generation at the moment. Oh, I see something over there. Hold on, let's look. What do we got over here? Lots of rocks down here. All right, cool. We'll go in and take a look here. Been wanting to rock mine, but it glitches badly. Yeah, I haven't done any rock mining toe, and I definitely need to do some for sure. Colton Yoder, how have you been, man? Nice to see you. I can't wait for the day resources become finite. Yep, I know it's a long ways off, but I can't help but think of the gameplay and what players... Yes, exactly. When there are limitations in the resources, you know, how's that going to affect things? You know, is there a Bexolite shortage so that ships can't be produced or that type of thing? It's going to be awesome. I never got to test it, but I did read someone Prospector is better to mine upside down. You limit the damage to the bags and other parts of the ship. Interesting, Tell. I will say that I had noticed that with the mole in particular, that we seem to be taking less damage. Just in general. Oh my gosh! If I toggle my mining laser off, most everything except for the first one I targeted disappears. That's so funny. All right, this is a 4080, and it's a Hephaestonite rock. That's what's going on. Is I turned off my mining laser and turned it back on, and it literally despawns rocks. Wow, that's funny. And not something I expected to see, for sure. So, So we'll have some fun with that as we move forward tonight. And so, hold on, what do we got here? I'm not getting... Let me just reacquire that one. Alright, so you can actually... If you toggle your scan mode, you can get your RS signature values back when it won't give them to you at first. Sounds like it would work. Prospectors might be confined to mining planetary rocks. Mole might be confined to asteroid, rocks in space, I think is what Ramoin's saying. There will be rocks unsuitable for each ship. I just hope it boils down to the size. I don't want the mole only good in space or the prospector only good. I mean, definitely the Orion is one that's going to have its only good in space, right? I mean, because it can't actually go planet side. I hope that they don't do that. It always just says reach for the sky in a share voice. JS says, hey, good evening, everyone. Hey, how you doing, JS? Nice to see you. So yeah, you can see I've got... Watch, we'll reproduce this for sure, you guys. This will be funny. So I'll show you. This is definitely a bug, and one that I'll definitely go report tonight in the in the issue council. So we're rolling up here. We see lots of rocks. Okay, this is funny, and in this particular case, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the mining laser. And that's a nice sized rock right there. There's a 61,000 mass rock. Metaphysical, there he is. How you doing, man? How you been? Nice to see you. Gotta go for now, Space. Just got home from work, dinner and a shower. Have a great stream. Thank you so much. By the way, you guys, Scarda was very kind and did an interview. He interviewed me for stuff on his channel. Scard has been doing some really great content, so I hope that you guys will, go like and sub on Scard stuff. Scard, make sure you put a link in before you go to dinner if you hear this, and please feel free to. But that was a lot of fun. Great question, great Q&A, and him and I had a real good talk here a couple of days ago. So definitely worth listening to if you're traveling around or something. Not a lot of action on the screen. You know, it was more of like just kind of an interview, but it was a very, very fun time. Also, mining as a profession is being pushed into the team org type setup, as far as I can make out. You're not wrong about that for sure. Stop! You're making me blush out. Yeah, sorry, sorry, Greg. You know what's gonna happen. Oh no, hold on, you guys, watch this. I'll pull out the mining laser. Did they disappear? Oh, they didn't disappear this time. The last couple did, which I thought was funny. All right, this is a picker, and this is going to be a 533 mass rock. So this is some laranite. What are the rest of these fellas right here? So yeah, I really wanted to get out and get some scanning done and seeing if there was more prospector friendly sizes. And so far, I mean, from my little bit of testing I did last night and the little bit of testing I've done today, it does seem like there's just a few more rocks that the Prospector is capable of breaking, and I think that's a good thing. 61,000 is the biggest mass rock I've seen so far, and so, you know, we're just going to kind of keep on, you know, doing a little scanning is definitely in our, you know, in our wheelhouse here. Frankly, too many pursuits in the game are being pushed that direction as well. I'm not happy about that. I understand what you're saying. They definitely need to accommodate for the solo player, some for sure. Now that could be a gem icon at that distance. Nope, that's rocks. That's awesome. Thank you for the kind words. Have a great night. 07 chat. Thank you very much, Griff. Metaphysics can confirm more small rocks. Absolutely. I feel like there's definitely more small rocks. It's a pretty limited sample size, but I have noticed that myself. What do we have here? I'm going to hit there. That's a 1920. There are those. We'll go ahead and keep creeping up on those. Metaphysical says cheers. Yeah, I was excited to get on here and do this tonight. I was debating with myself about whether I wanted a PTU, but then when they talked about making these changes for the Prospector, I thought I've got to test these and let everybody know what I see. Economy of scale really does benefit groups over solo players. You're not wrong about that, Brandon. What we really need as industrialists is more coffee-shaped flavored drinks for keeping us hydrated while working. I love the idea, Tella. Drax says shorts got rocks, and he owned them all. Nice, Drax. How have you been, man? Good to see you. Drax, when Scarred and I were doing a little bit of a podcast the other day, your name came up. I brought your name up as I'm very proud of you, Drac, for, you know, once upon a time, you know, being, you know, obviously incredibly knowledgeable about Elite Dangerous, and now you've become a very knowledgeable here in Star Citizen. And that, to me, is very much worth applause. I appreciate you much, Drac. Metaphysical says you can always go to Orison, Kelto, and stock up on coffee. Yes, you certainly can. I think Kelto and New Babbage might have coffee. It does have some. Yeah, there's coffee around for sure. All right, let's go ahead and scan these other two rocks and see what we get. Puts on dual sipper beer me. There you go. The dual sipper. I know what you're talking about. The one with a can on over each ear and the straw down. That's awesome, Aosha. Fine. Nice masses on some of these rocks. A 32% backslide, so a little under. Keep in mind a couple of things that you guys should know, right? You're always looking for titanium or quartzite. Now, you're not going to find any quartzite on Selin. But on Selin, the best thing to couple your tier 1 resource with is absolutely titanium, and that's because titanium has a cluster value, and it breaks, you know, in a higher cluster value, which of course then means that if it breaks more pure, then your tier 1 resource breaks more pure. So we're always looking for, it's not just, you know, your kind of your unicorns or your holy grails. It's not just, you know, what's in the primary. It's also in the second, you know, or what is the low tier thing that it's mixed with. And you're definitely going to find that titanium is going to be one of your better ones. And also you can occasionally find, and you may know this or not know this, but you can occasionally find a double tier 1 resource, meaning it will have like 38% Bexelite, 37% Terranite, Like, you can find those, and then the other bit of it is titanium, and then holy smokes, that's a very clean. You know, you'll have a very a very pure pull on that. I think those are just diamond icons for sure. Yep, no problem. It's copy pasta straight out of Orson. Yeah, it is. This part of what I meant by stratification, rock size must equal the ability of the ship to mine it. Yeah, I mean, obviously laser power is an important thing in that capacity. All right. Notice I'm not, but if I toggle V, normally it would do it. Well, it doesn't seem to be this time. I think that there's rocks up there. Yeah, I mean, I can see the diamond icons when I collapse the scan angle and ping. But I will tell you that, it's, the scanning's always in a weird place. Being knowledgeable, I know what I see, and that's about all I know. Fair enough, Drac, but I've appreciated it. Titanium and quartz. How about aluminum? Aluminum doesn't have the same cluster value. It's not that it's a bad one. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. What is this here? There was a... Hold on. VV. Let me just do this. There they are there. Let's get those marked. Okay. But no, I mean, it's not that aluminum's bad. It's just if you have your druthers, you want titanium or quartz. I got a Prospector using AUEC and not sure what laser heads or module to use. You know what, Omega? I've been using the Hofstede and putting a Stampede on it. It's not the highest power combination, but it's a very good combination, and it handles secondary breaks like a dream. That's what I've been recommending myself. Now, you could always go Helix and then, maybe add a focus or, that type of thing. That's another option. It's going to be more high power with a little bit less on your a little bit less optimal window size, but that's not a bad way to go either. All right, this is laranite aluminum. This is going to be an aluminum field. Well, it's late here. Gotta go. Have a good stream, Shorts. Hey, Reboy, I know it's late. Thank you for hanging out with us for a minute. I don't like quartz. Every time I find a rock with quartz, and I get tiny little... no question, quartz can be that way. Obviously, beryl is that way as well. Although, there's some good stuff about quartz. I mean, it's generally going to be smaller mass pieces. That's a 1621 picker with 23% quantanium. We're not going to bother with that. It's not quite big enough or enough. We don't want to get the timer started. Plus, I'm out here to do some scanning on a bunch of different rocks and see what we get. This is a good size rock here. We're in a laranite field, and so laranite's not what we're looking for, because I'm running into a lot of rocks that are impossible. Well, Omega, that's what they're saying they're fixing with 3.22 EPTU, is that you're going to have less rocks that are quote-unquote impossible with the Prospector. This is a nice mass rock. This is a 34,000. However, it is a laranite rock that's not going to work for us. This is a picker. I refer to pickers as rocks that don't need to be broke down, so you can just scoop them right off the mat. And so this is a picker. It's aluminum, and we'll leave that guy just as it sits. Couple more to scan here. I would say so far the sizes have been definitely reduced. I mean, I'm not, the biggest rock I found is 61,000. There's a nice Terranite rock at 31%. Remember, Terranite, gold, or Bexelite, we're looking for north of 41%. Here's a 50,000 mass rock. Very nice, not a high percentage of gold, but certainly a nice beryl plus quartz, and I walk away. Yeah, beryl and quartz you don't want. It's beryl, Drac, that's doing it. In that case, I mean, beryl mixed with anything causes, it's a very unstable element. Or ore, so beryl definitely will cause that. All right, so it's over here. I had some rocks, right? Yeah, they're over here. Let's go take a look at these. Helix was too small of a green zone for me. Same for me, Toe. And I'm always willing to be a little less power to have secondary breaks go smoother. But that's just me. And certainly some people love just the danger zone and they just don't care. And they will absolutely just go max power with the thinnest zones and reckless abandon, which is fine. If that's what people want to do, that is absolutely fine. Great. I just hate leaving rocks with gold or other goodies that I can't break. Well, you're always looking for something that's, around 8,000. That's going to be the perfect wheelhouse for the Hofstad with the Stampede. You can go up to 10 to 12. But that 7 to 9,000 rock that's got 41% or more of Bexelite, gold, or Terranite. That's the rocks that I'm looking for as I'm out here. But I'm also just kind of looking at all the rocks because they talked about changing the meta here in the EPTU. Young Smooth, hey man, how you been? Nice to see you, brother. I've been really good. Vortex, how are you? Really confusing that they're reducing the mass of rocks. When we have things like the mole and the Erastra, there should be an equal mix of small, medium, large rocks. And Vortex, I agree with that 100%. There needs to be an equal mix. I do think that they needed to kind of do something with the Prospector. I don't know if you'd been Prospector mining in the last little while, but it was a very difficult thing to find enough rocks to mine. That had good percentages and that type of thing in them. So I am happy that they've made a little bit of a change. Of course, you're not wrong. There needs to be a healthy mix of those rocks. And then, I think, equal spacing on them is going to be kind of the way that it should be for sure. Mr. Azai, sir, how are you? Hey, everybody say hi to Mr. Azai. Hey, man, I saw you streaming to stop by to say hi real quick. I'm about to go drinking, but hopefully catch you next time. Hope you're doing good. I miss you. Mr. Azai, brother, I miss you. I hope that we can get to hang out sometime soon and just catch up, and I hope that you're well, brother, for sure. I think about you a lot. And I normally send the rookie miners after quartz plus barrel rocks to tell them to bring me a full Prospector if they can do that. They earn their money. Brandon, that's a cruel and unusual punishment, man. Metaphysical says there are big rocks for the mole. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a 60,000 and a 50,000 mass rock since I've been out here as well, and I am hoping when I'm out here that I'm gonna still see 100,000. I want there to be rocks that are big, real big, that take 2 mole. I really want there to be still some of those 120,000 mass rocks for sure. I hope that they haven't taken those away. They also said if you prefer the mole, you can mine the belt. Well, the thing is, Metaphysical, the belt has always just got single rocks. I don't want, I hit the planet surfaces because this is a numbers game. And unless you're in belt 5 in you're gonna get some 3 clusters and some 5 clusters, but it's mostly gonna be single rocks in space. And that's, I don't like that. I don't want to fly up to every rock and look at it. So that's why I definitely hit the planet surfaces a lot. Vortex says CIG apparently no. Walker Bait, what are your thoughts on the Erastra? Walker, I'm very excited about the Erastra. I love the idea of how that it's a mining ship with some teeth. I like the fact that you're going to be able to switch from your remote turrets, mining remote turrets, to your defensive capability turrets. I very much like the idea of a refinery on board. There's a couple of questions that need to be answered in the QA. And one of those is whether or not you can bring Prospector in mole bags to it, or if it's kind of more of a closed loop system from laser to refinery. I'm okay either way, but I'd like to know that for sure. Mining in space has 0 clusters. Not 0, Vortex. Not 0. If you go to band 5 in the Air and Halo, you will find 3s and 5s, but they're very rare. They're actually a little more common than they were even a couple months ago, but they're still really rare. And I just did a stream a couple of days ago, or sometime last week, where I was in the asteroids around Yela, and there was tons of 3-packs. So it was interesting because I hadn't seen that in a long time, and I was pretty excited about it. But then I went out to the Halo to Belt 5, and I still found more 3s and 5s than I had normally do, but it was still predominantly single rocks for sure. They do change the belt meta and put clusters. They do need to change. You're not wrong, Metaphysical. They need to change the belt meta, put clusters back in. They do need to do that. I agree with that 100%. Found a doubler in the Halo yesterday. Both rocks just shy of 20K. Went back to the L1 with 45 SU of Terranite and 6 SU of gold. Nicely done, Drac. That's a good one. I love the idea of the mining turrets able to scroll along the side of the ship. I like that as well. Very nice, Drax says Metaphysical. Hope it's closed loop for the Expanse owners. You know, so, and that's kind of where I'm at. I think we're going to see an age, you guys, where there's going to be an age before the Arastra, before the Galaxy. There's going to be an age where it's Prospectors, Moles, and the Expanse. I truly believe that's a thing. I don't have any, way of proving that or whatever. But that's how I think that, in my mind, I think that's how it's going to work out. There's going to be, before they have the bigger ships with the refineries on them, kind of like the Arastra or like the Orion or like the Galaxy. I think there's going to be kind of an age where the Expanse and the Prospectors and the Moles kind of reign supreme. And so you kind of get used to taking the bags to the refinery and that type of thing. I actually hope that's a thing, to be perfectly honest with you. All right, let's see what we got here. Checking some more rocks here. Continuing on our, for science. All right, got a good blink there. Good, very nice. I like mining in the yellow belt. I find it easy mining. It is very easy. That's a Borace rock, and one we won't be messing around with too much. I'm going to be fairly selective out here today, you guys, and part of it is because I'm not in a big hurry, and the other part of it is I want to see as many rocks as I possibly can. That's a 15,000 mass gold rock with titanium, almost a 40%er. That's not a bad rock. This is a bridge too far. I don't think I can break it even with a stampede. I am going to go ahead and just kind of crank it up and see what we got. Just curious. Not even. I don't think I'm going to waste a stampede on that because I don't think I'll be. It's a bridge too far. If this is around 12,000, I'd hit the stampede. I spent a lot of time in Yellow's Belt too, says Toe. That's cool. They will have to rewrite the Expanse from the ground up. Wow, this is a nice rock, you guys. This is a 42,000 mass rock that's half gold, 47% gold. So this would be a very nice rock for a mole. You definitely would have a good time with a mole on that particular rock. You'd have to be kitted just right, but yeah, that's a nice rock. That's a 42,000. So far we've seen a 60,000, a 50,000, and a 42,000 mass rock. That's a nice 16,000 mass. But I have seen a considerable amount more Prospector friendly sizes for sure. Gadget time, Toe. After I run in, I'll grab some gadgets. Ooh, that's real close to my magic line of 50, but it's a picker, so we're gonna keep on moving. All right, so let's talk about this scanning a little bit for anybody who's interested. First off, you send out some pings. Generally speaking, oh, hold on, I apparently had another rock field over here. I need to look at before we do. I do want to kind of demonstrate. I do want to demonstrate scanning though a little bit for anybody who needs a hand with it. I cracked an 18.5K with the Helix Surge. Wasn't easy though. That's the thing, right? You can absolutely kit with surges and stampedes and go way higher power, but it can be quite a rodeo, and it's not comfortable. That's definitely advanced mining. Hey Nass, how are you, brother? Nice to see you. Drax says I don't like being in scanner and fair enough. Understand that. All right, let's go ahead and get the mining laser out here. Okay, that's a Terranite picker for 25%. What do we got here? That's a barrel rock. We'll leave that one alone. Barrel roll. Young Smooth says, I was just about to ask you about scanning. No, I'll demonstrate how scanning works here in just a second, Smooth, although it's acting a little bit different than it normally does. That's a 30% Bexelite picker. We'll leave that guy alone. All right, that's a good, nice rock right there. A good mass anyway, 6,145. Although it's a barrel rock, we're definitely not going to mess with that guy. We're not after barrel. All right, this is a 2,000 mass rock. This is going to be 53% barrel, and this is a picker here. Also the gadgets. Yeah, as far as gadgets go, I generally use a Bormax or an Optimax. Those are the ones I like to use. So let's talk about let's talk about scanning. And let me get a sense of where the sun's at and just make sure. Yeah, sun's pretty high in the sky. That's pretty cool. We'll move in this direction. So what I'm going to start out doing is, if you notice here, I'm rolling the mouse wheel back and forth, and you can see over here on this side of the UI is the scan angle. I generally you move in one direction. You try to so you don't recover the same old ground, right? I'm going to go ahead and pop at a 180 scan, and what you're looking for is either icons, or you can see these. If you look here, you can see kind of these bubbles, that kind of indicate that there's something out here. And then you can actually get yourself look at that. That's so weird. I think I might be rocks have already scanned. You can get yourself an RS signature value. See that 7,800? That's going to be that's an important thing that you're looking for, right? So I'm going to move in this direction, just try and move away. And cruise for about 2-3 minutes, so we're not possibly patch coming Friday. Look at that. That's awesome, Nass. I love it. Broke a 30K rock with the number 2 impact, sporting a Rigger C3, but I got reported for abusing Stampedes. Yeah, well, Stampedes definitely, I use them a lot. I like the Stampedes because they last 30 seconds as opposed to 15, although the Surges do have a lot more power, no question about it. So anyways, I'm doing a 180 scan, and right now I'm not getting the same amount of opportunity markers as you normally get. But if you 180 scan a lot, you'll start seeing diamond icons, and you can focus on that. You can focus on the bubbles. I got rocks right down here, but they're literally not. Isn't that weird? These aren't the rocks I've already looked at, are they? Just kind of curious. Is that a picker? I don't think it is. Oh, that's a 38% Bexelite picker. That seems like I might have seen that before. So scanning is acting just a little different than it traditionally does. But normally you do the 180 scan, you get opportunity markers, you collapse your scan angle and ping again. And then from there, that's a 48% Borace. We're not going to do that. Then from there, you can kind of, long scan on one of the diamond icons, and you'll get yourself a rock icon. That's a 30% gold rock. We're looking for 41% or higher for the tier ones. And that's, that's an important thing. So, as far as the scanning goes. So I'll keep trying to give you some examples of it. Although I don't seem to be getting as many of the opportunity markers as I am kind of getting just the, kind of the residual scanning kind of graphic or whatever. So let's go ahead, and I will, and if you happen to hear my grandson in the background, sorry about that. He definitely is a little peppered up out there. So I can hear him. So you guys might be able to for sure. All right, so here I am. I'm just 180 pinging, and I, just kind of cruising. You can see right over there. You can see like there's a little bit of noise on the, on the actual scanner, but I'm not getting them the same. Like I normally get opportunity markers, and I'm not seeing those as much. But that's okay. It's interesting, but it certainly was. I'm sure it probably has to do with the server. Anyways, no big deal. We're gonna cruise along here. And yeah, I'm just kind of like, I will kind of go between 90. So there you go. Right there, I can see, I definitely can see some noise over here. Then I'm going to hover my mouse over the diamond icons when they pop up, and I'm just going to hold down my mouse, and it's going to give me the only thing that's acting a little bit weird right now is I'm not getting the opportunity marker. Walker Bait, thank you very much. I appreciate that. What are your thoughts on the Arastra? I use score credit to get a carrot to Arastra CCU, but sitting on it in the moment new to mining. I think the Arastra is going to be the go-to mining ship, for most people eventually. It's going to be the reclaimer of the mining world. I mean, it's, obviously the Orion's going to be kind of an end game type of ship, no question about it. The Arastra, I love it. I think it's going to be a great ship. Once again, I'm very excited that it has the defenses that it has. I like the fact that you're going to be able to go from the remote turrets, from mining remote turrets to defensive remote turrets without even changing a seat. There are a couple of questions in my mind, like whether or not you can bring the Mole and Prospector bags to it, and it can also refine those, or if it's more of a closed loop system. That's an important thing for me to find out. The other thing to me is whether or not you're going to be able to clear the refiner. How's that? Is there going to be a buffer, type of thing, or are you going to have to go down there and make sure that you kind of keep the refining jobs moving, type of thing. So some questions, but it sounds like Thursday they're going to have the QA. The one thing I will say is I wish they would have had the QA a little closer to the sale. I do think that that's not ideal to have the QA a couple weeks after the sale. But anyways, outside of that, I think it's a great ship. I like the look of it. I love the idea that it has external storage, that it has internal storage, and that it has the ability to carry some ground vehicles. So yeah, I hope that it's not a bunch of copium. You know what I mean? I am fairly high on the Arastra at this point. How big is the Arastra in comparison to Mole? It's more of a hammerhead size, Smooth. The Arastra is fairly close to a hammerhead as far as its size is concerned. It's significantly bigger than a Mole. A Mole will hold 96 SCU internally. The Arastra has 512 SCU of external cargo, plus 64 SCU, plus another bay to hold ground vehicles. It's a significantly bigger vehicle. And it's the vehicle that kind of is, it's the large mining vessel, right? The Mole is kind of the medium. The Prospector obviously being the solo, the Arastra being the large, and then the kind of end game capital is the Orion. Drax says, I think that the Arastra will have a closed loop system. I also tend to agree with that. Ooh boy, we're going to take a crack at this. This is a rock that you did not see much before this change. This is one. I've seen a couple of these now. Now, I don't think I can crack this rock. I don't believe I can crack this rock because if it was down around 7,000, 8,000, because it is Quantanium, and I don't have any gadgets on me. If I had some mining gadgets on me, I could land and crack it, but I don't. We're still going to take a run at it, though. It seems like a deep space long-term. Well, it's definitely the biggest ship that you can take in atmosphere. So they do make that a pretty big distinction, right? The Orion is 100% not going in any atmospheres type of thing. The Arastra can. It is your biggest mining vessel that can. So this is not... I'm going to fire the Stampede, but I don't think it's even going to have any impact at all on this. I could be wrong. Oh, hold on. Let me kind of scooch in just a touch. And let's see if we can get... And I wish it would give a little more power a little quicker. But we might be able to work our way up and get this big old Quant rock here. I like it. Notice I'm agitating, and one of the reasons I'm doing that is I'm trying to excite the laser intensity to get it up closer to the green faster. I'm firing my second Stampede, trying to... Once again, I'll even get closer. I am trying to just kind of force the rock to get up closer to the green. It certainly isn't being as friendly. It's not being that cool about getting up there, but it seems like it should, because depending on if I have enough. Okay, I do have a third one. Okay, we're starting. That one jumped. We're trying to work it here. I'm keeping an eye, definitely keeping an eye on it here. Hold on, it might jump up pretty quick, so we got to be able to roll down fast. 14 seconds left on the... This is good. This is good. It's about to roll into the green. Come on, get up in there. Good. All right, we seem to be holding... Oh, that was the last of it, though. Oh, that's too bad. If I had one more, we would have did it. It just fell off. Let me get as close as I can. I don't think this will do it, you guys. It's just gonna slowly decay out. If we had one more charge on the Stampede, I had already used it a little bit, we would have gotten this rock. But unfortunately, the Stampede ran out, and it's just gonna be a bridge too far. It was very close. If I'd have just had one more charge, we would have held it long enough in the green to break it. Unfortunately, you could see that that I lost that one. So, you know that if it breaks, the servers will go down for an update. Yeah, you're not wrong. Bionic Freak says, CIG really needs to rework mining, salvaging, and munching. Is so much better. Have to play mini games in space and really takes the immersion out. I don't know, Bionic, I don't have any problem with there being some kind of a skill-based system. It doesn't bother me that there's some skill in it. That being said, it really would depend on how they were going to reapproach it. I'm not fundamentally opposed to reapproaching it, but I definitely think that I don't want it just to be point and click. I want there to be some skill involved in the process for sure. All right, let's do a 180 ping. We can see a little sig over there. That's our signature value of 620, I think. That's just a single gem. 620. All right. So we're not getting the diamond. We're not getting the opportunity markers right now. But what we are getting is is kind of like the graphical bubble. I'll show you what I mean here. Mole and prospectors are loners. Yep, they are. Call me Craven. What are lonerships for the Erastra? Yeah, it's the mole and the prospector. Craven, how you doing? Nice. Welcome to the channel tonight. Oh, hey, Al. Awesome, you guys. Cool. So we are cruising along here. I do not have any more surges on board. When we head back to the ranch, I'll re-kit a surge, a stampede, and I'll also grab a Bormax or whatever. But we'll have to find a few more rocks to break before we head that way. And scanning as many rocks as possible was really my goal. I have, kind of the TLDR. If you don't want to go back and watch this. My gut feeling is there are more friendly rock sizes for the Prospector, which is what they said. I've seen a couple of rocks that really that I had not seen in my last month of mining. A couple of them were 7 to 10,000, 47 to 48% Quantanium rocks. I know those are put in specifically for the Prospector. I was not seeing too many rocks. Not to say that it was impossible, but I've seen a couple of them in a short period of time to kind of let me think that probably is the rebalance a little bit. So I'm excited about that. Prospector is my favorite ship to fly, you guys, and it was really kind of not in a great place. Now, I have not tested in 3.22 whether or not you can put the mole bags on the Prospector, but that's been a good thing for quite a while. So I have no doubt that I certainly wish they'd standardize that. You could just buy those. Well, skill aside, I feel childish to have to start playing an arcade game when mining. I don't disagree with what you're saying. You know what I mean? As long as there was some kind of a skill in the system, that's all I'm asking for. I don't want it to just be point and click and you just get whatever. That's all I'm saying. I'm not opposed to it. What you're saying as far as I would welcome any kind of a rebalance or whatever they'd want to do. Like I said, I just would want there to be some skill in it. I hope that makes sense, Bionic, for sure. Cool. All right, we're kind of... Oh, there's a 15,600 I'm seeing out over this way, so let's keep... looking for the diamond icons. I have not seen where the actual field is yet. That is, a good size field if I can figure out where it's at. It's so weird that we're not getting the opportunity markers. I was when I first landed, but opportunity markers have seemed to have gone away. Now, what did we see there? There's an 8,000 mass one. Alright, there was a 15,000 mass went over this way somewhere. Wait. Ah, there's 9,700, like right in front of me. So I collapsed the scan, I kind of sent out a ping. Trying to get myself some diamond icons. Normally you would be getting opportunity markers. Like I said, I think that's kind of a server-ish thing that's happening. Which is fine. We can definitely survive without them. That bigger one must have been more over this way, I'm thinking. Alright. Definitely not seeing any. 8,000 is like, yeah, if you're in the Halo and you get 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, understand that is likely scrap pieces. You know, when they have that RS signature value is like a factor of 2,000, so it's like 12,000 even. That's usually scrap for sure. Don't think the bag should be linked to unlocking ports for removal. I don't mind the unlocking of the ports thing. I just wish that you could buy upgraded bags in the stores, and that it would kind of give me an idea that that's kind of the way they're headed. Okay, so over this way. Okay, lots of... That's interesting. It's so weird. Like, it's strange that... how it's working. Okay, so there's some there as well. And there are some like right here. We'll take a look at them and see what we have. If it's a big number, like 30K bigger is decent change. Yeah, I hear what you're saying there for sure, Drac. What is this over here? And there they are there. Alright, we got rocks everywhere. Nothing wrong with that. I knew these ones were kind of around this area here. Let's take a look at these and see how we do. Kojak! Hey, Kojak, how are you, man? Nice to see you. How you been?
Fracturing mode on. Mining mode on.
That's awesome. All right, let's take a look here. Once again, you know, preliminary findings are I am seeing more friendly, definitely more friendly sizes. That's a 34% Terranite rock. You know, was an 18,000 mass. That's definitely a little bit bigger. This is a good mass. 6,000 mass is decent rock for. That's a 20% Bexolite. So remember, we have a 41%. You know, for now this is a 16,000 mass rock. And that's a 30%. Oh, see, this is one of those ones I was talking about, you guys. This is one of your double tier ones. Look at this one. It's an important thing. This is a teaching moment because you don't see a ton of these. But notice you have 29% gold, 21% Terranite. So that means this is a 51%. This rock here is a 51% tier 1 rock. So you have to that's why scanning is so important. Now this is a mass I cannot break with the Prospector, but this rock, that's a 51% tier 1 rock. So those are what you're looking for. That right there is kind of, we used to call big Quantanium rocks kind of the unicorns or whatever. That's a nice rock. So this is also a nice rock. This is a 41,000 mass rock at 41% gold. So once again, that's not necessarily Prospector friendly, but that's a very, very nice rock. This was a 14,000 mass rock and at 23% Quantanium. So, first of all, I'm seeing more Quantanium rocks in general. Can I just say that for sure? That's a for sure thing. I am seeing more friendly sizes for Prospectors. Whoa. Did that say 20,000? It did. 20,000. Ooh, they're over there. Let's head that way. 20,000 signature value is like, hey, I'm going to go. But yeah, it's a good thing to learn. Hey, 26 likes, you guys. Holy smack. Thank you so much. You guys have rocked it out. You could maybe break that with an Optimax, but Drac, I should have brought some, definitely should have brought some of that type of stuff. When I go back in, I'll grab it. I'm going to do 2 runs tonight. One of them here, one of them on Dame. All right, V, got to head off. Okay, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon, for being there right at the beginning of the show and hanging out. I appreciate that. I hope to see you again, and please come mining with me sometime. I hope that we can just kind of hook up and hang out on the mole sometime. What was the mass of the Quantanium rock there? I've seen a 10,000, a 12,000, and a 14,000. All of them, I believe, north of, pretty good percentages of Quantanium. High 20s and better. All right, what do we got here? Sometimes you shoot the rocks to wake them up. There's no way that this rock is just 100% inert. I didn't think so. 47% Laranite there. Laranite is not one of the resources we're looking for. Let's go ahead and take a look at what else we got here. 3,000 mass, very, very prospector friendly. That is going to be just titanium, though. Not no tier 1 in it. Another good mass rock, 7,600. But that's a Laranite rock, unfortunately. We're looking for Terranite, not Laranite. 2,800, the very prospector friendly. 38% gold. I think that's actually was real close to our. That's actually, what's interesting is that's actually a picker, too. That's funny. Laranite pays well enough, but I'm not greedy. I just want to get the purest tier 1s I can. And so that's just kind of, I definitely don't need the money. It's more like just, I definitely think getting high quality tier 1s is better, Now, that being said, there may be an argument, Drac may be making an excellent argument, that if you just got a bunch of mid-tier stuff as quick as you could, that you might certainly make more money than I'm making. Hey, Mabutu, how are you? Mabutu says, hi, Spacey, hope you have some good news. Tried Siege, and it's been turned into just another PvP event. Yeah, I can appreciate that. Mabutu, I can tell you, having been out here in, well, let's take a look and see, what is this? That's just a 24% Vexilite, though. Yikes. Not high enough for me. Definitely in Mabutu have seen that there's a better, friendlier amount of prospector size rocks. So that's a good thing. Also, have found, more Quantanium rocks just in general, I think. Than I generally see. Oh, look, you guys, it's the Great Disappearing Rocks. I have seen that a couple times where, where I pulled out my mining laser and all the rocks disappeared that were in front of me. That has happened a couple times tonight as well, which is weird. But you know what? Is what it is. So we'll just keep moving. Fools go home. What the heck? So that's the first time I've ever seen that. This is a 28,000 mass rock. Laranite. A lot of Laranite tonight on something. And that's not uncommon. But once you kind of get into a Laranite field, generally a lot of the other rocks will have it too. Yep, that one's Laranite. Not what we're looking for. 22,000 mass rock. So this is definitely a pretty mole friendly. 26% Terranite. Not the highest percentages. 16,000 mass rock. So, kind of mid-molish in here. We're actually at a 46% gold with titanium as the secondary. So that's a nice rock. Would have been a nice rock for a solo mole. That's right in the wheelhouse of solo mole stuff. 16,000 is a great mass for solo mole. All right, so we're gonna do a few more pings here. What about over this way? What do we have? Okay. Yeah, definitely, it's interesting. We're definitely not getting the opportunity marker. The square marker isn't coming up. It was coming up when I first got on, but it's not. Hasn't been lately. Looks poor. It just says, looks poor at his hold. 50 millimeter. Yeah, hey, I mean, I'll take some Janolite for sure. I've still never found any Janolite in the game. I need to do that. I need to go looking one day. Oh, isn't that interesting right there? You can almost see it. Yeah. Oh boy. All right, you guys. So yeah, I'm kind of excited. I think I do think that we're seeing a little bit better, a little friendlier sizes for the Prospector. Does gold pay well? Also, what? Yes. Bexalite, Terranite, Gold, and Quantanium are your tier 1s. Obviously, Kojak Quantanium is significantly higher than Bexalite or Terranite or Gold. But those are definitely the ones. There it happened again, you guys. Look, all my rocks, like when I pull out my mining laser, they're there. But when I put it away, they disappear. So that, it's definitely kind of a mixed bag. This is an aluminum field. Rare but fun when it pops, for sure. I am using a Hofstede and a Stampede, although the Stampede is gone now. I used it. I was really close to having a titanium rock on board, but I ran out of charges. And I didn't have an extra one on me, or I would have tractored it on there. 33,000 mass rock is a nice rock. It's a 36. A lot of laranite tonight. That's okay. I will say, for all the the friendly Prospector sizes like this one, 7,400, there hasn't been a whole lot of high percentage tier 1 stuff. There's been a little bit, but not a ton of it. So that's just something to keep in mind for sure. Bexalite, Gold, Terranite all pay. Yes, they all pay well. Oh boy, look at this gnarly. Gnarly little kind of sandstorm we were in there. Oh, hold on. There's something over this way. What do we got? Maybe if I'm getting that, you can see very clearly there is that bubble kind of looking, bubble looking kind of graphic or whatever that, but normally those would result in opportunity markers, which is, the square. Yeah, lovely weather. Exactly, Omega. Very lovely weather. All right.
Fracturing mode on. Mining mode on. Mining mode off. Fracturing mode
On. All right, salvage was doing the same thing. Oh, really? Was it? It was just kind of just kind of blinking out. Toe. Is that what you're saying? Hey. All right. What size rock is this? 10,000 mass rock, but a Borace rock. Darn it. Great mass on that one. You're always looking for that 7,000 to 9,000 mass rock in the Prospector. That's a really good size. But you do want to pair that with a good, a good tier 1 resource for sure. 28 likes. I appreciate that. Bubble, but no distance marker. Yeah, I'm not getting opportunity markers. It's just they don't seem to be popping up right now. I don't know if there's, maybe there's, I don't know if the EPTU has gotten its patch yet, and maybe did, and it's just kind of gotten sideways or whatever because I need to update, but no big deal. This is actually really good to just kind of wander around and scan some rocks, and we'll eventually find something that's got the percentages in it that we're looking for. Ooh, signal strength is 100, huh? Okay, I can see. Once again, there's the. All Alright, and then this looks like it was about here. I think that's going to be a gem icon, but I could be wrong. Not yet. Okay, fair enough. Oh, nope, it is a rock icon. Cool. Alright, we'll cruise on over and take a look. Alright, we'll get out the old mining laser and roll up on these guys. Now, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag, you know. When we pull the mining laser out, sometimes the resources are disappearing. You know, of course, this is the EPTU, you guys. I mean, we need to just kind of take it with a grain of salt. Everything is kind of in flux. Oh, hold on. Whoa, looks like... Hold on. What's going on here? Kind of the screen froze for a moment there. Kind of interesting. Alright, what do we got here? Barrel rock, okay. We'll keep on moving. Alright, let's see if we can... Oh, I can see some of the distortion over here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Some over this way as well. Oh, there's... Is that going to be a diamond icon? Let's look. It's been a lot... There's been a lot of rocks, though. Yep, okay, there's a diamond icon. I can tell over here there's some more distortion. 4 years to fit Grimhex elevators, but they have gotten a lot faster. Yeah. What's so bad about Barrel? I thought it was fairly valuable. It's mid-tier. And so, Omega, there's always just kind of this debate, right? Do you want to do lots of mid-tier fast, or do you want to, you know, kind of go a little slower and look for high-quality stuff? To be honest with you, you know, it's probably... I have not done a whole lot of mid-tier mining with the Prospector, especially when it only has the 32 SCU bag. I am certainly somebody who's always kind of headhunting for higher quality stuff. But you're definitely going to find... There's definitely a group of people who feel like if you go with the smaller range stuff and just mine a lot faster, that, you know, it is ultimately more profitable. I don't know that I found that or not. But you know what? I to each their own when it comes to doing this kind of thing, for sure. That's a nice size there, yeah. Alright, I did see a couple more over this way. Alright, what size do we have over there? Let's look. Okay, some diamond... Definitely had some opportunity marker, or some diamond icons flash right there. Okay, I got that rock. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. Ah, okay, I usually load my C1, C2 up with Barrel and do okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's bad. I mean, by any stretch of the imagination. You know, let's go take a look at these real quick. You know, but if you're out mining, I definitely think that Bexelite, Terranite, and Gold and Quantanium are going to serve you a little better. Look at that, they disappeared when I toggled my mining laser. They disappeared. We're seeing some of that. That's a new behavior, not one that I've seen before. And it's okay. I'm sure that just has to do with it that it's an EPTU server. And what Drake's talking about is trips per hour, right? Yep. You know, and I don't disagree with it. I still am somebody who is... I'm always just going to kind of go for the nicer stuff. I'm just not a mid-tier, low-tier kind of guy. I don't want to go back with 30,000 over and over again. I'd just as soon go out one time and come back with something that's closer to 80 or 90,000 one time, and I'm good with it. Laranite. That's just my own position. You know, obviously, I'm always, you know, if people, you know, say, you know, clearly this, you know, this is better. This is a nice rock right here, right? At 27%, 14,000 mass. Once again, just out of the reach of the Hofstad. You know, 15,000 mass rock. 18,000 mass rock. And that is Laranite as well. And what about this guy? And that is a 21% Terranite rock at a 37,000 mass. So good masses on that, you know, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and let me ping 180 here. Ooh, that's a 13,000. It said, I actually think it was this one right here. I can see it residually. Oh no, there's one off to the left as well. Boy, I wish it would give the opportunity markers. It'd be easier for you guys to see them. I can see the graphic that would normally indicate that there should be an opportunity marker, which is fine. But you know, it's like I said, it's probably not as easy for you to see what I'm seeing. All right, cool. There's another big field off here somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. Yep. There's a little bit of lag. I can, you know, there's just a touch of lag. That's a behavior I've been seeing since Sad Joke to 320 dropped. OP markers not showing up. This is the first time I've not, you know, this is the first time I've not had opportunity markers, but this server is acting just a little sideways. I do have that's a nice field right in front of me, a 13,000 one. We'll head over there and see what we get. All right, so I'm glad we're doing this testing. We still only have about 7 SCU with stuff on board. Uh-oh. I turned my mining laser on and off, and they all disappeared, I think, again. Oh, that's kind of a weird... Oh, there they are. They're back. I wonder if I can make them come back. Just as easy as I made them go disappear. I'm going to test that next time. That was funny. They seem to come back. All right, that's a Quantanium picker right there, this first guy. It's an 809 mass rock, but it's Quantanium. So that is a Quantanium picker at 31%. I'll leave that guy alone. And what do we have here? 2600 mass rock. That's a Terranite rock. That's a good sign. Terranite, you know, you've got the 2 T's in this one. I think it's Terranite and Titanium. Those are what you're looking for, but you want to get that, man, you really want to get that, oh, no, this is aluminum. That's actually a 42% though, Terranite, so we will go after this one. This is in the wheelhouse of what it is we're looking for, because it is in the 40, you know, it's in the 40%. Now, this won't be a hard break at all. This will be an easy break. See, it tried to race up, but I pulled down, I lowered the laser intensity fairly significantly as it did that super climb there. Now it's just below the green. And when I do the mining part, I do have to pay attention to the UI a little bit, you guys. Might fall out, we'll see. Oh, it held. Rolled it back to 15. We could be fairly easy break here, 42%. Let's go see. Now, what we're looking for is anything that's north of, you know, 50%. That's you know, that's Terranite here. There's an 84% Terranite. We'll take that. That's kind of what we're looking for. Just that kind of stuff. Stuff that's north of 50%. Well, I must say adieu and good luck. Oh, Aosha, sorry to hear that. Appreciate you dropping in. Have a great night, man. 9% Terranite. That's not going to work. Damn, just held up and scrolled into read the stats. Fair enough. 48% right on the bubble. I'm not going to do that one, though. What do we have here? 38%. And now I'll look at this other one here, and we'll move on after this. 344. That's, yep. I don't know that there's another one in there that I hadn't scanned. There looks like there might be one piece down there. Let's see if I can get my... Yep, it's right there. It's right there, 572, 61%. So we'll take that. If I can. That's that 49%er shoot. Oh, I don't think it was. I think we got the right one. Cool. All right, let's look at the rest of these. This is a 7,000 mass rock. Nice mass. It's a 25% gold. Remember, we're looking for something that's north of 40%. 41% generally. This is a prospector friendly size. That's 54% laranite. Uh-oh. I've also got some... Looks like it's very, very, very choppy. Okay, you got out of it. I thought we were crashing there for a minute. I would say the server is starting to get a little bit, little chewy. 54% laranite. Another picker here. (42% laranite. When they're pickers, I don't grab them at under 50%. You know, it is very rare to ever find a picker north of 50%. Yeah, won't be moving on. What do we have for... Okay, we're about a third of the way in as far as what we found to mine so far. Okay, I see... Okay. There they are. Let's take a look at these ones.
Extraction mode on. Mining mode on.
Moving on in here to see what we got. And we are going to definitely... Oh, boy. Let's make sure we slow down. That looks like a picker. 643 mass, just straight tip, like a titanium rock. What have we here? 4,000 mass rock. That's a 47% Terranite. This is exactly what we're looking for. Are the Brant modules still good? No, I don't use the Brants as much. I definitely use, really specifically, Rieger C3s. Those give more power to the laser. Focus 3s give bigger optimal window to the laser. I use also Stampedes. So you're generally going to see me with like, generally a lower power laser like a Hofstad. Type of thing. But I hear you, Kojak. It's, it's definitely right now I'll go with a Focus 3, a Rieger 3, depending on if I want power or if I want a more optimal window. And then, on the Prospector, I'll go with the Hofstad and the Stampede. On a Solo Mole, we're going to actually mine this with you guys. On a Solo Mole, I'll have like a Helix 2 on the front of it with like a Rieger, a Rieger C3, and like a Stampede, and then an Arbor in the starboard laser, which will have a couple of focuses, and then an Impact on the port side, and that will normally have a Rieger, a Rieger, a Focus, and a Stampede. So that's kind of So this is a nice find. This is a nice rock at 47% at this mass. This is a nice rock for the Prospector. There's not a ton of SCU in this thing, but it is a nice rock for the Big old green window there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It is a titanium, so it's going to break nice. I'm going to... Ow. Turn on the light there. Selin used to never have this this kind of weathery. That's a nice 73%. We'll take that. Very nice rock. Anything that's north of 50, we'll pull in. That's a tier 1 resource. 63% we'll take. Ganja claws. Nice. Alright, what do we have here? Just 35% Terranite there. What's this guy? Obviously, some of this is not going to be 7%. There's going to be one more rock here that should have a pretty good percentage in it, in my mind. It's a 46, though. 35. And then this guy up here at the top was a 7%er. All right, let's move on. All right, this is a picker. Drax says, I tried putting double focus on one turret in my mole, but the charge window buff didn't want to stack for me. Oh, wow. I switched to a focus and an XL, XTR, and I get big charge window with secondary bricks. It does stack for me, Drac. I know there was a bug at one time when they weren't stacking, like a little while ago, but they're definitely stacking now, for sure. I actually think the Focus 3s weren't working for a while, in general. But they seem to be now, anyways. Wikipedia Sig just updated us. No ETA yet. Okay. Look at that. That's a 49% Bexelite rock. Is that a picker? Wait. It's not a picker. That needs to be fraction. It did have a yellow outline. It just surprised me. All right, we'll grab this too. This is half. Another easy break. I'll take it up to 33% to just kind of run it up there pretty quick, and then I'll roll it way back as I get a little closer. Whoa, even 5% was 7. No ETA yet. Thank you, Toe. Appreciate that. 9. 14. Alright, 14 is starting to go a little faster up towards the thing. Oh, I fell back to 5 just because I was threatening to get up there. I'm going to scoot just a touch closer. I think 14 will definitely push it up in there. And then as soon as it does, I will roll it back. As soon as you get into your green, you want to reduce at least about 30% of your laser power. And that's the beauty of, if you can sometimes have that surge or that stampede help you get to the green, then you generally can hold it, but not always, it just depends. All right, so this isn't a big rock, but a lot of this should be pretty clean. Oh, for the love of Pete. Tumbling downhill here. 100% titanium, that's a good sign. %90 titanium.
Fracturing mode.
63% backs. We'll grab that. Okay, what is this rock over here? That's the picker there. Let's turn back and look over here. Alright. We're getting there. We got 20 SCU on board. Right now we've got That's a 56%er. I will come back and get that one. Right now we've got 12 SCU basically of good stuff, and about 6 SCU of bad stuff. So our ratio is starting to get a little better than it was. You know, I usually try and get around 20 SCU of tier 1 when I have a 32 bag. That's a 58. We'll take it. A little closer to you know, to half than I would want, but let's see what this guy is. I always relied on Focus 3. Yeah, Focus 3s are nice. Once again, just it's real close, unfortunately, for. And that was a 58%er, so we'll grab that too. Little guy. All right, what do we got here? This is our last rock in this particular cluster. It is a good mass rock. Ooh, look at that, you guys. This is going to be a nice top off. This is going to be a real nice top off. So we can definitely do this rock. We should definitely be, well, it's going to be close. Oh, we may not be able to do this because we don't have a stampede. So we're going to find out real quick if the Hofstede's got enough juice. It probably is not going to have enough juice. It doesn't. Let me try and squeeze in here a little bit tighter and see if we can maybe agitate our way. See, this is the size rock, though. You are not seeing this size rock before very often. A 43%. I mean, if I had a stampede on board, this would be an easy break. Super easy break. There's really nothing I'm going to be able to do to force this Hofstede to do anything with it because I don't have anything else on me. But that would be, yeah, that would have been a nice top-off rock, and we would have easily broke that if we weren't out on our stampede. So, you know, just that's just kind of the nature of the beast. That happens sometimes. And off we go. We got to break one more rock, and then we're going to head back. So, that's too bad. That would have been a nice, that would have topped us off in Quantanium. We would have gotten probably, you know, 6 or 7 SCU of Quantanium out of that. And that would have been all we need. So that ended up being a little too bad. Alright, let's take a look at these. The one thing I liked about mining space is that you can move around the brakes. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Oh, this weather, though. Selin used to be so just a nice clean atmosphere, and now it's starting to get the weather like the other places. All right, let's move on in. We're just looking for one more good rock to haul in here. I can see some over there as well, so we've got a few opportunities here. All right, what do we got? All right, that's a Laranite picker. This is a very friendly mass, 6,000. And a 38% Terranite rock. We may do that one, depending on... We're going to look at the rest of these rocks and the ones right over there, and then we'll probably end up doing that 38%er. It's a touch under the 32%er there. It's a touch under what we would normally do at the 41%, but we're pretty close to top. And I want to go back and grab... I want to make sure that we get a Stampede on board and head over to Damar and just do a little bit more. Now, there's a 61,000 mass rock, though. We haven't seen a ton of those. And the ones we've seen... Now, this is the rock here that I'm looking at that's got 38% Terranite. But there are some rocks that are just right over here, right? So I'm just going to head to them real quick. They're literally, like, right here. And so let me look at these. I'll turn around and head back to that other There's that 38% Terranite rock in there. Dr. Wigglespank, welcome to the channel. It's probably nice and clear third-person view like Microtech. Well, you know, it's just... Yeah. What's going on? Oh, did they disappear? Oh, no, I think they did. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to these ones. We've definitely had some disappearing rocks today. You know, Selin normally, you know, it didn't have this kind of weather on it, Doc, but it sure does now, and it's kind of grumpy. All right, so there's a 38%er here. Let's go. Let's knock that 38%er down, and we'll call it good. Jeez, oh Christmas, you can. You know, I even look outside the ship. I mean, you can barely even see the ground. It's crazy. There's that 38%er. Let me go ahead and... All right. This will be an easy break. It's a little... It's not a huge rock. Very, very straightforward break here with the Hofstede. We'll get this guy broke. We'll head on in. I am going to grab another Stampede. I'll probably throw one on the ship with me. And I'll also grab a Bormax and an Optimax as well. And we're going to go over to Daymar and do a little mining there. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Been lurking for a bit, just enjoying the stream. Appreciate it, Doc. Truly. All right, you guys. This is... should be a pretty straightforward break here. Easy peasy. All right, let's... Looking for anything that's high percentage. You know, you might not get it here because it wasn't over 40%. So that's a 30%. We'll obviously grab whatever's the highest percentage Terranite. Like I said, I want to head back in. I'd prefer mining in a situation where it's not like pea soup as well. There's 56% Terranite. There's 40. This, like I said, this was only a 38%er, so you're not usually going to get that good of breaks with it. That's a 54. Are they all going to be around 54? 28. And I think there's one more piece over here. That's a 32. So we'll take this 56. Not ideal. We'll take it, though. And we ended up with a little more titanium than I would have preferred. And certainly a little more, you know, not a ton of aluminum, but... We're not doing bad. That's going to top us off here. So we ended up with around, not quite, just under 20 SCU of Tier 1 material in the 32. Hey, MacLeod, how you doing? Nice to see you. We're testing the EPTU to see if the rock sizes are a little more friendly for the Prospector, and so far they definitely have been. Oh yeah, let me just clear that route. We'll just have to go up and get an OM marker. And get around the planet from there. That's probably one right there. Yep. Let's do that. Just clear to 2,000 and we'll head up to this OM marker and we'll find our way from there. Awesome. Alright, so let's see if we can find our way back to CRUL1 from here. Set route. Beautiful. Grab the sticks and let's just kind of start heading back. So we're going to drop this off the refinery. I'm going to grab a Bormax, an Optimax, a couple Bormax, couple Optimax. We're going to put another Stampede on board. I'm going to actually throw a Stampede on board with me. So if I happen to run out of charges next time, I can just go out and just tractor one on. And we are going to head over to Daymar and do a little bit kind of just more daytime mining on Daymar. Now, we were doing daytime mining on Selin there. It did get a little dark towards the end, but it also got very weathery on selling, which you don't necessarily see very often, but it's not that you don't see it at all. By the way, 32 likes. Thank you so much, you guys. 33 now. I appreciate that. Whoever did that, I appreciate it. It's been this is a very enjoyable stream. The good news is I am happy to report, in my humble estimation, having mined about the last month in 3.21. I don't know if Sabirs are at CRUL1, Drac. Is that your gadget of choice? If they're there, I'll grab one too, just to have one. But yeah, no, I've mined the last month or so in 3.21. I've done a lot of prospector mining, even though it hasn't been in the best state, and I have done quite a bit of solo mole mining. I've also done some crew mole mining, and I've got some big crew mole mining event coming up where we're going to be taking up several moles and doing some testing for science here pretty quick. But it does seem like overall the amount of smaller rocks is bumped up a little bit. But the most important thing that I will tell you that I've seen is that I found several Quantanium rocks, 3 or 4 of them, that were like between 8 and 12,000 that were in plus 40% mass. I was not seeing anything like that before. So that's a win. Those are nice rocks. One of those I could have easily done had I had a Stampede on board. And I'm kitted low power. I've got a low power kit with the Hofstad. I prefer like secondary brake being a lot cleaner and easier than kind of having a big power laser and then and then a bit of a rodeo on the secondary brakes. I live there in CRU1. Yeah, I do. I've lived here off and on as well, Drac. I know what you mean. But the Savior is not one I usually will grab because I'm far more into the cluster value, and I don't know what the cluster value is on a Sabir, but on the Optimax it's like 60%, and on the Bormax it's like 30%. So I like the gadgets that have the plus cluster value, because that means that you're more likely to get pure stuff. Yeah, that was definitely a long flight out there. Glad we got the sticks mapped over this way. That's great. Cruising on in here. We're gonna, like I said, drop off, top off, and head back over to Daymar and do one more run. I'm gonna drop the gear. I'm gonna lower the VTOLs. Used to Pendle here. I did spend a lot of time at ARC-L1, but before ARC-L1, I lived on CRUL1 for almost a year and a half. It's definitely my original stomping ground. ARC-L1 was, the reason we did ARC-L1 though is back in the day, Drac, is because Lyria was the best place in the world to Quantanium mine, in Stanton, the Quantanium mine, right? Wow, I was really cooking here. And I'm gonna go under, but I was maybe going a little faster than I thought I was. Alright, it's no big deal, but I didn't think I was carrying that much speed. I guess I was. No big deal. We'll get this lined up here. Gears down, VTOLs are out. We're good. We'll get this guy sorted out here in just a sec. In we go. Yeah, this thing's sailing. It's funny. Easy peasy landing in here. Good.
Landing complete.
All right, let's go ahead and... Oh, I had a little damage on her, for sure. Which is fine. Let's make sure we get topped off and get our hydrogen and stuff. Yeppers, as you walk about... You were all about that quant. I was all about the quant. No question about it back in the day. Because that was really the only thing worth mining. Now it's now that is one thing that is nice that it's changed, is that there are, that your gold, your Bexlite, your Terranite are nice tier 1s. Quantanium, of course, is off the absolute chain, and I tend to find that if you just kind of keep spamming it, they'll eventually do what you ask. I've got the messages now. Doc says, how is the Earn Halo for mining these days? Not good, Doc. You won't find as many clusters. I mean, you know, that's the thing. I think right now mining's a numbers game. You'll find a lot more single rocks in the Earn Halo than you will find in Band 5 in the Earn Halo some 3 clusters and some 5 clusters, but they're very, very rare. And so you do want to, you know, that's why I've been doing a lot of planet mining. All right, could we get that some? I've started firing guns through hangar doors to make sure they're open. That's not a bad idea. You might catch a crime stat that way, though, right? What is this guy being? It's being an awful touchy about. I won't even. All right, I didn't even hit the repair one that time. Yeah, that'll be fine. We'll store it and we'll refuel it, I guess, before we leave. Or we'll fly over to a pad and we'll do it there, which is an alternative. I like the Halo, but no one accused me of being... Well, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, it's a whole lot of single... You have to, you know, I'm scanning, you know, sometimes when I'm out, if you think, like... Let's say I run into 10 clusters and there's at least 5 in every cluster. That's 50 rocks, you know. But they're bunched in a way. I don't want to fly around to 50 individual rocks and scan them. I mean, that's a very tedious thing. Don't get me wrong. If I'm just kind of having a lazy day chatting at some friends, I may do that. But if I'm really actually looking to do some mining. I don't want to fly around and just kind of and look at a bunch of single rocks. It's just not that efficient. But that's just me, you know. Everybody can kind of make their own choices on that front for sure. Well, and I'll refuel one way or the other, Drac, for sure. I'll either hit a pad. You know, one way or another, I'm not going back out there without it. But what did we actually end up? I don't. Did that fill me up? Oh, it didn't quite. No, let's get that fixed real quick. Carry. I used to mine in the Halo from RKL1, but haven't done that. Yeah, no, that's another thing. We used to, hit the Halo in a couple different places from RKL1. Doc, from RKL1, we would hit, head over to HURL. I think it's HURL5, right? So yeah, we would definitely fly from RKL1 to HURL5 and drop out, at the Halo. Also, Macedon started going from RKL1 to Crusader, I think, and dropping out at like 33.6 or something along those lines. And boy, that was a hot spot for a few months. That was a fire spot. Hey, Rue, how are you? Nice to see you. Talhane says, get all your subscribers on the same ships at the same time and direct the B swarm of miners. I would love to do that. Like have like a Prospector derby one day, Tala. That'd be so much fun. It's not just you. The belt is a waste of time. Different people feel differently, Rue. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the belt's not as efficient myself. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. Why am I at it? I am going to throw this on this. I think I did store the Prospector. So let's make sure. I do want to just make sure I throw. Why would there be a Stampede module on there? I mean, it was gone. Unequip. Oh. That makes me worried. I mean, there was... That is weird. It had fallen off. I definitely didn't have one on there. I'll make sure I just throw an extra one or two in the... in with me, and I might have to put them on kind of manually if it, if it somehow or another just bugs out. Keep in mind, this is the EPTU, guys. It starts as it's already an alpha. This is like super alpha, right? So we're gonna definitely find some little idiosyncrasies. I'm not expecting this to be much better than say a 50 or a 60,000. At the half. Like the unrefined value of this is maybe going to be between 40 and 50,000. I'm expecting. That wasn't, you know, the greatest run ever in the Prospector. Wasn't terrible, but not the greatest run. So let's look at it at the half. Oh, I'm wrong. 62,000 is not terrible. So once you refine that, you're going to make over 100,000 on that run. You know, which is not the world's greatest amount, but you know, not terrible. All right, Baxilite, Terranite, and we'll do a Dynex solve and confirm, and that'll be ready tomorrow. Cool. And let's go down and let me buy some Bormaxes. Playing Prospector and EPTU and still had a module on it. Yeah, that's oh yeah, they've been going through claims okay. Sometimes that's acting a little different. So let's see, Bormax. I'm gonna go ahead and buy, and we'll just do like 3 of those. Yeah, okay, and we'll get Opties. All right, buy. We'll get 3 of those. And then Drax said he wanted me to grab a Sabir. That's the one that he likes. What is that? That's just a big optimal charge window, negative 15 resistance. Does increase the instability significantly, but I'll buy a couple, and then that's fine. Drac, what I like about the, obviously, what I like about that 1-2, like if we take a look here, right, and we take a look at the Bormax, notice it's negative 70% instability, but look at the cluster modifiers, 30%, and it only brings up the resistance by 10%. Here's the Optimax. This one reduces instability. So if you need to reduce instability, you can do that. This one actually will reduce resistance, and it's got a plus 60 to a cluster modifier. That's why I like this one, because that cluster modifier. This is going to certainly make a much bigger optimal charge window. And it's definitely going to reduce the resistance, but your instability is going to be up. So we got options. I'm actually going to throw one of these in my backpack while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to equip a Bormax. And I will make sure to throw those in my Prospector before we leave. So I'm going to probably grab at least one more of the Stampedes as well. But we're going to head over to Daymar and go on one more mining trip. I have absolute, I don't have hard, when they say something kind of grayscale, like we're increasing the amount of Prospector size rocks or whatever. There's not a percentage number. They're not, so it really is kind of how it feels, right? But the one thing I will say is I have seen 3 Quantanium rocks that are, that are good percentages, that are between 8 and 12,000, and you just didn't see hardly any of those.
Welcome.
And so that to me is does take a hit on the charge window. Yep, I get that for sure. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll retrieve the Prospector.
Your vehicle has been
and like I said, we'll make sure that we it's hangar 2. We'll make sure that we grab a couple of things when we jump in there. I'll try not to fly off and forget that stuff. Hey, 40 likes, you guys. What a great stream tonight. One more run to Daymar, and we'll... the Severe seems to have become the sword of meta, is all of it seems to be the one you can most depend on. Well, fair enough. The nice thing about the Severe is lowering the resistance improves how big of a rock you can pick. And if you're really close but not quite enough power, that increases can put you over. Yeah, no question about it. So if we find a rock that's that we should land and throw one of those on, we'll do it this time. I have not done that in 3.22, and we should for science if we find a rock that's right around an area. Okay, yeah, look, I want to do this, so we're going to do this. I'm going to go to vehicles, right? I'm going to bring 2 more of these on board, and I'm going to bring one of those on board, one of those on board, and one of those on board. I have one of those on my back, so we have 2 of those. That's fine. We've got, that gives us the tools that we need. Cool. So Telly, you like the Sabir as well, is that what you're saying? I've been more of a Bormax or an Optimax guy myself, so that's why I do appreciate the All right, so let me... Yeah, there's absolutely a Stampede on there. and there was not a stampede on there before. And I absolutely can see it right down there. I can see it. So hopefully it's got a full charge restored. If not, I do have a tractor beam, and I could always pull this one off and put a new one on if I need it. You know, hopefully it won't come to that though. Cool. All right. Well, we're gonna head once again. I'll try to target Crusader, but we'll clear route. We probably won't be able to. Nope. So we have to do this mini jump to ARC-L3 first. We'll set that and we'll go do it. Up we go. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Mining mode off. Landing gear up.
Hey, there was somebody out there. I think their name was Fat Bottom Girls. Good Queen song.
Thank you.
I think is exactly what that thing said. Although I wonder if you get away with that song nowadays. I love Queen. Freddie Mercury would get away with it. You know, he's Freddie Mercury. You know, he'd get away with it. All right, we'll do a mini jump here. Pelly says I only recently started using the Sabir, so I came across a rock I could, but I should be able to. It's really close, not quite there. I switched to the Sabir, makes a difference. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. I mean, I like I said, I definitely had been using the Bormax for resistances and the Optimaxes for instability stuff. So, just a little bit difference. I'll try a Severe though. I'm happy to. All right, so we're headed to Crusader. We've done one run so far, and it did look like the Prospector was in a little better shape. We want to see if we see kind of the same thing happening on Daymar. We're looking for those rocks that are, between 7,000 and 12,000 mass that have 41% or better on Bexolite, Terranite, or gold, or 35% or 30, anything that's north of 30% Quantanium type of thing would be good. Tella says I also have 2 YouTube accounts because I post one kind of video on one and watch on the other. I somehow subscribed on both at some point. I may have to drop a sub. Don't hate. No, Tella, it's fine. Oh, Tella. No, it's totally fine, man. I get that. All right, cool. All right, we're getting close here. All right, we're coming. This Goliath is not fast. But as soon as we cross that line, which is at 80,000, we can drop out and then clear route, and then from here you can once you cross that line, you can redirect towards the planet. I never spend like the extra 20 seconds just flying over to Crusader, and if I can help it, unless I'm not paying attention or whatever, which is totally fine. All right, we're gonna do some daytime mining on Daymar. And see what we see. I only have the 32 SCU bag. Like I said, I haven't bothered to swap out the mole bags to get the 48 SCU. That would be a little bit of work anyways. Okay, what are we at here? Security post, whatever. Kudra ore. Eager. Shubin. Yeah, let's hit Shubin. It's right over here. We'll hit Shubin. Hey, Ivacati, how are you? Nice to see you. How have you been? Hope you're doing well. All right, so I forgot to top off on the hydrogen. That was smart. Drag. I normally stay there and do it till the end, but I was like, I got impatient. That's so funny. That's all right. We'll be fine. All right. Let's see if we get any opportunity markers or if that's kind of gets itself straightened out. So off we go. Like I said, I normally will go into V-scan and I'll 180 ping in the direction that I fly. I'm going to increase my Definitely not seeing opportunity markers. How am I liking 3.22? Well, I think it is a little more. I think it is a little more prospector friendly. At least it seems so far. All right, I have a 62,000. What's weird is, though, like I said, we're not seeing opportunity markers at all. Yeah, and you're just kind of seeing stuff like this, like down in here. Which, yeah, it's a rock icon, but we're no opportunity markers. That is so strange. When I first logged on, there were opportunity markers, but they just kind of gotten sideways. Hydrogen fuel's already low. I could head over. Oh, I could head over to Shubin. Let's do that. I'll go hit Shubin and see if they'll refuel me. All right, that is not going to end up being inert. I refuse to believe. Yeah, maybe. No, it's not. It's Laranite and titanium. That's cool. All right, there's a wake call. That's cool. 1808 picker here, which is Laranite. Yeah, Laranite, once it seems to get... Once Laranite's in the field, man, it tends to be there. 45% Laranite. Laranite has gotten much higher percentages lately. Also, where is our Aranstar Q&A? It's coming Thursday. So this is a 40%er of Terranite. We're going to break this rock. For sure. Easy break. And, you know, it is under the 41%, but it's pretty darn close. So we'll just kind of knock it out real quick and see if we get some... Whoa, there was kind of a graphic glitch. Alrighty. It did fall out, but you know, that's okay. I let it fall out usually, because then I'll find kind of like, try and find the area where you push it up in there a little bit, and it, you know, you get a better sense of what the percentages are, that so you can hold the green or whatever, so it doesn't fly up through there. Looks like this is going to be a pretty easy break. And we got it. We're looking for anything here that's north of... anything here that is north of 50%. That's a 52. Boy, I tell you, I might change my rule to 60. It's a very small percentage there. When you don't get north of 41%, I just tend to find that it's very mixy. Yep, there's 46%. I don't want any of this stuff. That 56%, it's like, There's another 56%. Or that's the highest we're going to get. Let's hit Shubin and see if I can get gas. Is that Shubin there? Oh, that's Eager. Alright, that is Kudra. It's going to be more on the top of the horizon, I would think. Like right over there. Exactly. Beautiful. It's 28 away. Let's fly in there and see if we can't get a... We'll fly in there and see if we can't top off on fuel. I happened to leave before I topped off. North of 50. Yeah, I'd like to go north of 50 for sure. You know, like... I'm beginning to lean towards maybe north of 60. Getting even more stingy track with it. We'll see, though. You know, I have every faith that we're going to do, you know, that we're going to do okay out here, so... Since 320, any rock under 60 is going to be seriously mixed. You're not wrong. Oh, you're not wrong. And that's why the cluster value, Drac, becomes such an important thing. That's why a titanium rock is your you know, when that's your mixer rock, right? That breaks much cleaner sometimes than other rocks. Rough break for 40%ers, still want a mining gadget that improves break concentration. Well, there are some that do that at Ivocati. They have they have an increased cluster value. Although I will say I've used them a lot, and I don't No, I haven't felt like it's super consistent that it does that. You know, like, you know, I've certainly have had it seem like it did once or twice, and I had it seem like it didn't once or twice, but we'll just kind of play by ear. I'm about 6,000, 5,500 out from Shubin now. I'm going to drop the gear, lower the VTOLs. A lot of ships are... I'm just going to try and get down on the pad and get myself some fuel. Wow. Alright, let's fly down here. I'll take the small pad just in case somebody comes bigger up. Gotta love this game. I just adore it. So sweet. Alright. Alright, hold on here. Let's head down and see if they will refuel us. Alright, cool. Crossing our fingers. Hey! And we'll see if we get some fuel here. Used to be rocks with 40% or better, you were pretty sure to get at least one hundo. You're not wrong, Draken. You're absolutely right. It used to be that if you got, you know, like when you found things north of 40%, you got a much cleaner you got a much cleaner break. You know what I mean? But it's not that way anymore. That's why you really want to go with 40%. You know, 40% or better. Cool. What about the repair? Did we get the repair in? Not that that is important. It was just a 1. Must have. Excellent. Let's get out of here. Love it. Well, that was easy peasy. We can turn this off. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of a... Alright, and then we'll open this guy up. And then I'll ping out. And nothing doing there, really. Not having the opportunity markers is a little bit not great. Hey, Moon, how's it going? We're definitely doing a little testing out here on 3.22, and it does seem like the sizes are a little friendlier for Prospector mining, just as an aside there to what we've been up to. No opportunity markers, though, so we're having to kind of find our way with diamond icons as far as... And then you do get that kind of that bubble looking graphic when you scan sometimes as well. But the opportunity markers don't seem to be popping. They were popping earlier, but something happened and they just stopped. I loved your interview with Scar. Thank you very much. That's very kind, Moon. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I enjoyed doing it. Griff did a great job with the interview, you know, asking great questions, kind of... I really enjoyed the conversation. In my mole, I can make it back to the refinery 50 SCU top tier. That's a great breaking point for sure, Drake. I'm not quite as discerning in the mole as I am with the Prospector on a 32 bag. You know, but yeah, you're not wrong. Well, I'll tell you. All right, so there you go. I did see opportunity marker over, you know, or like diamond icons over this way, but that was just the 620. The other one was over this way. Yeah, there we go. So now I have to kind of find these. And this isn't indicative of how it normally is, and I could probably jump servers and it would do the opportunity markers again. Something's a little sideways with the opportunity markers right now. As a matter of fact, I could bed log real quick if I needed to, and I might. Okay, I definitely see some over this way. Some diamond icons, that is. Because not getting the opportunity... You know, on the darker planet, I could see You know, when it was a little darker, I could see the like these little kind of bubble looking graphics or whatever. Yeah, I just seen them right there. They're right, whatever it is right around this direction. You're sure to send me a shout when you get ready for that mole run. And yeah, you know, Track, we definitely need to do some hanging out on that front for sure. Right there. See, it's so strange. Like now I'm boogieing here. I'll slow down real quick. You can see. I mean, this isn't. Don't think that this is the way the scanning's working right now, because it's acting a little flaky on this particular server. All right, so here we are. We're interested in mass. Obviously, that's a great. Oh, it's going to be a bunch of Laranite again. Laranite kind of infects the field once it's in there usually. It's not to say you don't find good stuff in a Laranite field, but I tend to find when there's Laranite, it spreads itself out. That's a nice rock right there. That is a 42% Bex rock. Let's go ahead and break that guy.
Fracturing mode on.
Boy, that's okay. Should be a pretty easy break. Oh, we're getting that bug where you can't. It makes it seem like you're like going backwards with your laser power, so you have to kind of creep it up slowly. That's okay. This is an easy break with the offset though. This is 5700 with that big of a green window. We're gonna be just fine. %, holding 13. It's still falling out a little. 17, still falling out. 20, actually fell out entirely. Now I'm at 23. 29, right back in we go. But will 26 hold? 26 held. I love it. All right, so let's take a look and see what we get. I just don't get the opportunity markers in the PTU, only diamonds until I get close. You know, that's weird. I've been having fun with. Now that is 53%. I'd like to stay a little cleaner than that if we can this run. I'm going to say 60s if I can. 58. Ooh, that's close enough. I'll probably take that one. It looks like this didn't break great, even though it was a 40%er. There's a 13%er. Hoping one of these had like a 68 or something in it. This one might. 49. Yikes, and there's one more piece here. You call it bubble, I call it splash. There you go. 33. Yikes. Well, the 58's the only one I'm taking out of this group. It's close enough to 60. That being said, this one didn't break that clean, and definitely not a percentage that I really like it better when it's more of a 6-to-1 type thing. 60% or whatever is a lot better. Hold on.
Extraction mode on.
This is a picker here. Laranite rock. Yeah, remember this was a Laranite field. 3,300 mass rock. And 23% gold, so not too bad. Not exactly what we're looking for. $10,000 mass rock is great for a prospector. Only 22% gold, too bad. That would have been, you know, in the 40s, that would have been a real great rock. Shale deposit, by the way. Oh, move that up. 6,000 mass rock. Once again, a very, very friendly sizes. Very friendly sizes for the prospector. You know, no question about it. All right, so up we go. 18,000 in front of us. Is it this over here? do see one right there. I don't know if that's... Yep, that might be the 18,000 R signature value field. Let's go take a look at that. Cross our fingers and see how we do. 43 likes. Loving it, you guys. It's been a super fun night. I've really enjoyed it. And doing this, it's important to kind of understand the... hopefully they're starting to get this balance a little better. I don't want them to, like... I still want there to be real big rocks. The one thing I will say is I'm still looking for that 80,000 mass rock, which I hadn't seen. Oh, these are kind of nicely spread out, aren't they? Interesting. 61,000 is the biggest mass rock I've seen so far out here today. So I still am hoping to see something that's... I want the occasional 100,000 mass rock. I mean... Alright, you gotta shoot some of the rocks there. Till you get the flash. Yeah, must have flashed and I didn't see it. Alright, what do we got? Let's take a look. Looking forward to when salvage is as fleshed out and as balanced as mining. I know exactly what you mean. There's a 47,000 mass rock. Oh, these are going to be heavier, right? Because these are copper. So these are going to be, or at least that particular. I don't know if these fields are considered next to each other or not because they're 600 away. But that copper rock was heavy that was heavy. 77,000 mass copper. Yeah. So copper has got the, that's definitely got the mass to it. So it'll be interesting to see if these rocks over here are also copper rocks. What is going on? Oh, that's what's going on. Beautiful mass rock. 11,000, but only it's just a copper. The only thing that was in it was copper and inert. So yeah, here's some big boys. This is a big copper field, Hephaestonite though. All right. 37,000 mass rock. That's a 30% Terranite. 41,000 mass rock. Beautiful. Only copper, though. I think that's a picker, I think. Let me take a look. 1,800 mass rock. Hephaestonite at 47%. That's a Grisium and copper. Alright, that's Hephaestonite and copper. And last rock here. 22,000 mass. Grisium and copper. Nothing crazy good there. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll open up this 1790 sig value. Though I do see a couple of different... What did that say? $12,600 ahead. Let me see if I can find the rocks. They're there. It's very light, and without the opportunity markers, it's a little bit difficult, but not out of the realm of impossibility. I can see them flash, then do a long scan on them, and then you at least get your rock icon. Then you can kind of scan on your way in and keep them on the screen. You got Damar, so beautiful, by the way. Love it, and we'll go ahead and finish out here and take a look at these rocks. Alright, we got the old mining laser out.
Mining mode on. Mining mode off. Mining mode on.
7,000 mass rock. Titanium and a Grisium. So we got titanium. That's always the mixer we're looking for. Titanium's always good. What we're hoping for is a tier 1 resource north of... This will be a... Let's see here. What do we got? That's just a titanium and Hephaestonite. That's a gold at 25%, but it's a 46,000 mass. Ew, boy, that's a big one. That one seems to be trapped in the geometry. Have I scanned that one yet? No. $3,200 mass rock. 25% Bexelite. That's not going to do it for us. And a picker. What's this picker at? Drax says, with what they're talking about for 322, they're going to have to nerf the structure amongst and salvaging. It sounds to me like they've already made those changes, Drac. They're making that was 20% Terranite, by the way. It sounded to me like they're limiting the buffer, which is, you know, or they're putting some limits on the buffer. And, you know, it's interesting, you know, like I definitely don't want to be somebody who's that concerned about, you know, hey, I mean, everybody can enjoy the gameplay how they want it. I just want them to be consistent. You know, and when they, you know, they really were pushing, you know, it seemed like they were really pushing the multi-crew, and then when they started, boy, making it where one guy in a reclaimer could just get an endless amount of stuff, that seems to be kind of a little bit counterintuitive based on what it is they were, you know, advocating for prior. No big deal, though. I mean, it sounds to me like they're definitely trying to address it. There is some rocks right over here. So I just seen them. Alright, single rock, eh? Okay. And then there's some, yeah, there are some other ones as well. Wait, did that guy disappear? He did. We've seen that tonight a few times. That's funny. We definitely have seen that a few times tonight. Alrighty. I got about another half hour or so, guys, before I got to work early tomorrow, so let's see if we can find something to put in the hopper here. That's barrel and iron. So these are going to be heavy. Barrel and Bexelite. Oh, that's a 32%, by the way. Bexelite. 4,700 mass. The atmosphere is definitely a little different here on. That's a 20% Quantanium. That's a good size rock. I wonder how much this guy weighs. 21,000. 46% gold. Oh, I wish that was in our wheelhouse a little better. 26% gold there. All right, we'll keep on moving. There's definitely something. It's saying 100%. Something over this way. Oh, I think I seen him up here in the hills. Yep, I just seen him right there. Seen him at a distance and closing in on it. That might be mighty close, yeah. Even with the reduced buffer, they don't make major changes. I'll be living in my reclaimer. Oh, yeah. No. I mean, you know, the reclaimers, it's a great ship. It really is. And I'm not trying to get it. I'm not advocating that it gets nerfed into oblivion. I think there should be a buffer. I just don't think one person should be able to, you know, solo that ship and make nearly nearly as much money, or way more money than people that are forced to multi-crew, in the other kind of professions. I just want it to be, relatively balanced. I don't have any expectations of balance, though, right now. There'd be no reason to. I mean, they're just, it's in its first iteration. So, ooh, Daymar's looking kind of pretty over this way. All right, let's get the mining laser out. Let's take a look.
Extraction mode on. Mining mode off.
Yeah.
Mining mode on.
Baxilite and Hephaestonite, so that's interesting. What do we have here? 12,000 mass rock and a 32% Terranite, so not quite as high a percentage as we were looking. Great mass, though. 20,000 mass rock with 47% Hephaestonite. Crozar says, haven't mined yet in a while, but used to solo mine in a mole. Reclaimer is easy solo. Yeah, it is definitely some easy solo as it sits right now, for sure. That's a fascinating Crozar. Welcome to the channel, by the way. And so that's a 12,000 at 32%. I don't know. We can probably break this rock. I don't know at 30% if we're going to... I don't know that we're going to have a great amount of it that breaks clean enough. I'm going to use my first surge because I knew that would be, it would definitely, this is definitely in the wheelhouse when you... Here, I'll agitate a bit to kind of run it up. So this is, a pretty good range. I mean, obviously a little higher percentage, but this is gonna, I'm gonna have to fire a second, I'm gonna let it work its way up without agitating this time that much. At least I think I am. Seem to be holding at about 19%. Easy break. I don't know how much of this will be clean with it being such a low percentage of Terranite, but it is a 30% or so. Good break. And we'll back up and take a look here. Moon says Reclaimer's getting nerfed the next update. Yeah, the buffer, it makes sense, right? So we're crossing our fingers here and hoping that we find something with Terranite that's north of 60%. Probably unlikely, but we're going to look anyways. There's a 42%er. %er. Yeah, this is what happens when it's down in that 30% range. This is why you need to find it over 41%. It's just a mix of Garbola. 36%. You always hope that there's one in here that just somehow magically broke clean. But it's not very often, and that's an 11%er, and there's this tiny little one here. What's that one? 70%, No, it's 902. It's not terrible. 7%. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not minding any of that. I mean, that's just, it's not happening, right? I mean, that's just, it's too bad that I used 2 surges on it. But, it just didn't have a high... I mean, you're just going to load up your 32 SU with junk. And if it... I mean, I didn't even think about adding... I honestly didn't even think about, getting out and throwing a Bormax or anything that would even cluster modify it. 32% or 33%, it's just too little. You definitely want to shoot for that 41%er. I'm hoping instead of nerf per se, more like fracturing, disintegration be an actual challenge of some sort. Yeah, it something skill based. You're not wrong, Grosar. For the love of heaven. Problem with lowering the buffer is the main C2 piece can't even. Piece still can't even. fit in a buffer. Oh, that's interesting. So the C2, like the C2, like a part of the hull in the C2 was overfilling the buffer. That's interesting. They're going to add more to the salvaging. Yeah, they are going to. There's gonna, they're gonna cover that in. I mean, we're gonna get the Arastra Q&A this week, and they're gonna have stuff on structural salvage. They're gonna have some stuff on structural salvage and ISC or whatever the Thursday show is. I always get those two live. I think it's Star Citizen Live is the one on Fridays, but I could be wrong. All right, well, we got some rocks over here. We got some opportunities. I am flying a little slower than I want. Let's get out the mining laser and let's take a look. Moonroy says they also said they are reducing the amount of con mats per piece. That makes sense. All right, let's kind of fly around here. Where the heck did they go? Did they disappear? I don't know. Oh, there they are. Cool. Yeah, it's almost 390 SCU, 340 buffer. C2 needs a break in. Oh, interesting. Wow, that's very interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here. Right over this ridge will be these rocks, and quite a few of them. Good sized field. Really good sized field. All right, that's a picker, 527 mass rock. Here's another picker. Looks like there's a lot of pickers sitting here for some reason. Oh, am I not on it? I must not be. It's not a very big rock. 1221. Copper and gold. Okay. This is going to be these are going to be some heavier deposits. For sure. Moonrock, yep. It is a bit high. Yeah, it is a bit high. That's a Grisium? Yeah, that's a Grisium for sure. Okay. 1822 mass. 32% gold. Not going to do it for us. Crossing our fingers that we get like something around 10,000. That's, here's an 8300. That'd be a good one. But we want a higher, like a, it's a fest tonight. That's not going to work. This is a picker. A lot of pickers in this. I never see pickers with, real high percentages. I mean, 40% is a pretty high, but it's not what we're looking for. This is account login timeout. Weird. All right, hang on, you guys. That is strange. Not sure what that means. Okay. I wonder if they have released a patch. Let me double check. No patch. Weird. Not sure. I wonder. Let's see if we wind back up inside the. Let's see if we wind back up inside the. Oh, patch just dropped. Okay. There we go. That makes more sense to me now. Let me go ahead and let me wait for it here for just a sec. Is dropping. It's 10:30. I only have about 15, 20 more minutes tonight. Anyways, I have to work real early. Let's just kind of see how things pan out here. Let me see how quick I can get the patch installed. Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely doing something because it's. All right, let me quit this. All right, well, with that, you know what? I think I'm going to just go ahead and, I hate to do it, but I do have an early morning, so I am forced to kind of sign out. I really wish I could stay a little longer, but 6 a.m. comes real early, and so I've got, I do have to head out. Let me end the stream by saying this. Today, I have been mining a good 30 days in the Prospector or so, almost every day in 321. In 322, I have seen more 8 to 12,000 mass Quantanium rocks than I have seen in the previous 30 days. So I can tell you that they definitely have, there definitely is a recalibration. I don't know how extensive it is, but I've seen 3 or 4 mineable rocks by a prospector that were in, some of them even in the high 40% of Quantanium. So very, very good. The gig's not necessarily in. I'm going to continue to do some testing. I hope to be back around sometime in the next couple of nights doing some more testing along these lines. I really, really enjoyed everybody's conversations tonight. It was a great stream, a little impromptu, but loved doing it. If we didn't get that interruption, I would have hung out a little longer. So, but no big deal. Everybody have a lovely day, and I will see you all around the verse.